As the NATO defense ministers met in Brussels. Also in attendance, Ukraine's defense minister, who says Russia is the most significant and direct threat to NATO countries and that Ukrainian soldiers are defending all of Europe. NATO's chief reaffirmed the commitment to helping Ukraine.
NATO allies are providing unprecedented support to Ukraine to help uphold its right of self-defense. And from the start, we have been working very closely with the European Union, determined to support Ukraine for as long as it takes.
Ukrainian forces are now locked in fierce fighting on the front lines in the east, where Ukraine says Russian troops are continuing offensives from the air and on the ground in the Donetsk region. Bakhmut is among the cities that's been targeted by Russian attacks. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says his soldiers are facing a tough fight.
The situation on the front line, especially in the Donetsk and Lugansk regions, remains extremely difficult. It is literally a battle for every meter of Ukrainian land. We must understand the significance of these battles. Every meter won is to defend our entire country.
But the assault here has been a disaster. At least 30 Russian tanks destroyed by Ukrainian mines and artillery, a scrambled, chaotic retreat. Across this front, the Ukrainians are well dug in. Their lines aren't moving. But this soldier says there are now 10 attacks a day. There used to be just a couple. To the north, the Russians are inching forward around Bakhmut, and every exit from the city is extremely dangerous. The battle's here at close quarters, unrelenting trench warfare on the edge of the city. It's so hard, the enemy is pushing from different directions, says this Ukrainian soldier. All the efforts our men are making are priceless. Fighters of the Wagner mercenary group paraded their flag at a village on the outskirts of Bakhmut, but they are being forced to fight for every single house. And Wagner boss Yevgeny Prigozhin admits this as Wagner units continue to endure heavy losses in its efforts on the hills around Bakhmut, where they are vulnerable to Ukrainian artillery and drones. Ukrainian officials now expect another Russian thrust further north in the forest near Crimea. There's been fierce fighting here for weeks. A Russian advance here would allow the Kremlin to claim it's captured all of Luhansk region, a key objective of Vladimir Putin's war. But Ukrainians are putting up stiff resistance, and their allies expect that in the spring they may be able to launch attacks of their own if they are supplied the weapons and ammunition they need.
We believe that there will be a window of opportunity for them to exercise initiative and then change or continue to create the right conditions on the battlefield there.
Before that, along this vast front, the Ukrainians must hold off what they expect to be an imminent Russian onslaught. David Mackenzie, CNN, Kyiv.
A reach too far for them right now. So the question is, does this become a somewhat frozen conflict, an accelerated version of what happened after the invasion of Crimea in 2014 and of the south and the east of Ukraine shortly thereafter? Or does this become a sort of all-out conflict in which the Russians go beyond Ukraine's borders and take on NATO nations? So far, they've shown no interest in doing so.